Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. My name is Joshi and I post videos about various tools, techniques and skills that can be applied to raise your happiness level and peace of mind. So do subscribe this channel so that you don't miss something very important for your mental and emotional well-being. And in this video, I will explain 5 points that will help you to be consistent with whatever practice you have just started or you are willing to start. So do watch the video till the end. Please like the video if you find it useful. Also share it with someone who you think can benefit out of it. And let's get started. Point number 1. Kickstart your practice. So it is well understood that before you can be consistent with something, you have to get started on it. And to help you do that, I have already shared a video. In my previous video, I have explained 8 points that will help you to kickstart your practice. That will help you to get started on whatever practice you are willing to get started on. So do watch that video if you need it. I will share the link to that video in the description below and also at the end of this video. Point number 2. See it as learning a skill or developing a habit. So when you start your practice, see it as learning some kind of skill like riding bike, playing piano or guitar. You understand that you cannot learn to ride a bike or play piano in just one day. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like you played a piano for one day or few days and now you can play it like a pro. It doesn't work like that. And same thing happens for other practices. So try to make your practice a fun game and stretch it to a required level. Stretch it to a required duration. Stretch it to a required period. When it comes to making changes, it's all about developing some kind of habit. Let's say for example you have had a habit of smoking since years and now you want to quit smoking. You cannot switch some button and quit smoking in just one day. You have to develop a habit of not smoking because you have had a habit of smoking and now you have to develop a habit of not smoking. And habits aren't developed in just one day. It takes some required time and same thing happens for all other practices. Point number 3. Don't expect too soon, don't expect too much because high expectation leads to inability to see the tiny progresses that happens in small time. And this causes you to doubt on your steps, doubt on your tools and techniques. This causes you to doubt on your ways of doing things. And this breaks your consistency. So remind this to yourself all the time and forget about the result for first some days. Point number 4. Don't be too strict. So when you start your practice, don't be too strict to yourself. Don't force yourself into some kind of routines or timetable. Don't make it too rigid for yourself. Do it when it is comfortable for you. Let's say for example, you decided to meditate every morning. One morning you cannot meditate because you don't want it to or for any reason. Now don't say now or never. Give yourself more chances. Don't make it too rigid. Don't be too strict. If you miss it at morning, you can do it at evening. So try to keep it simple, interesting and comfortable. Don't force yourself. Otherwise you will end up hating it. Point number 5. Try to keep it clean and try not to give up. For example, when you wear your new shoes, you don't want to step on dirt, isn't it? You want to protect it, you want to keep it clean as long as you can. Similarly, when you start your practice, you are on a journey of developing a habit that supports your well-being. At the same time, this practice will detach you from some old habits. So, when you have started this journey of positive change, try not to step back to your old habits that did not support your well-being, that did not supported your well-being. Try to keep it clean and try not to give up. There is this saying, you might have heard it too, that wearing new pair of shoes might be uncomfortable for first few days, but they are the one that will take you a long way. So try not to give up during this uncomfortable phase. Try a bit harder and keep it going during this uncomfortable phase because gradually it will become comfortable. Now let's have a look at this progress chart. There are 5 phases in the process of developing a habit for your practice. The days mentioned there are on approximate basis. Now let's understand this with an example. For example, when you buy a new pair of shoes, you are so excited to wear them for first few days. This is the phase of temporary motivation. This is the first phase. And after a few days, they feel a bit uncomfortable. You don't enjoy wearing them. This happens during second phase. This is the phase where you feel uncomfortable with them. And gradually during third phase, they start becoming comfortable. And then they become habitual during the fourth phase. You don't even give much attention about what you are wearing or how it is feeling. This happens during fourth phase. And during fifth phase, they start becoming part of your personality. And same thing happens with your other practices. Now let's take an example with meditation. When you find out that meditation will be highly beneficial for you, you are so excited for it, you are so excited to practice it. This is the initial phase, this is the phase of temporary motivation. And during the second phase, you feel very uncomfortable, you feel like giving up because you feel bored, you can't see the desired results. And during the third phase, gradually it starts becoming comfortable for you, and then it becomes habitual during the fourth phase. You don't even think about those benefits or those boredom that you used to feel initially. And now during the fifth phase, it starts becoming the part of your personality. The benefit or the advantages that meditation offers becomes part of your personality, and you get to enjoy all those things. And the most important point I must remind you again is that the duration of the uncomfortable phase, the period of this uncomfortable phase is very short, as shown in the chart as phase 2. But when you look at the large figure, like you will have to try harder, you have to struggle for total of 21 days to form a habit, it will make you demotivated from the initial phase. So remind yourself that phase 2, the uncomfortable phase, is the only phase where you need to be patient and where you need to try a bit harder to keep going, because once the uncomfortable phase passes, things will become comfortable. And with this, I will take a leave. Thank you for watching the video. I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.